Hello, everybody. This is Elisha Keating from WisdomSeekers.net. Emphasis on the .net. This is my logo, Phoenix Rampant or Phoenix Rising. And as I keep saying, perfect for what we're going through right now as we go from Piscean into the Aquarian age. And yes, we've passed the border many times, but it's not a line drawn in the energies. It's a line here, a line here, a line here, and there, and all over the place. So it doesn't happen overnight. It happens in little bit by little bit. So we are still moving into the Aquarian age. And when will it fully be into the Aquarian age? Only God knows. And I'm going to leave it at that. But I think the majority of the Aquarian age energy will be here by 2028. Majority of it. And there's a prophecy that I've grown up with, that for the next 1,000 years after we've moved into the Aquarian age, it will be the golden years, golden times, which means I'm assuming that it'll be a time when we grow magnificently spiritually, emotionally, telepathically, which means maybe no wars, maybe less manipulation, maybe better health. I don't know exactly what it means because we haven't done it yet and we're still making the blueprint. And that's a good thing about being a human. Our blueprints can evolve with us. And so what we were in the 40s, we're not in the 80s, and we're not in the 2000s, and we're not now. So things shift and change. We may not see it, and in some places it's exactly the same as it was way back when, but in other places we've grown tremendously. And ultimately the new growth will invade the whole energy of the earth. It takes time for things to move forward. It takes time for one atom to hit another atom, and make the energy shift beyond the now. So this is for August 8th, which is tomorrow, and 2023. Interesting cards. I'm not quite sure what they mean yet. Let's go find out. The first two cards, I think, are very important because, well, A, they're pentacles, which is abundance, which is money, and B, they talk about how the energy's moving radically. And they got the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is all about bringing the energy together. It's all about, I always read it as bringing little pieces of ourselves together rather than the large scale. But in this case, I do believe it will work for the interior of you, singular, but also for the society at large. And pieces will start to move into place that are working together. And that's the important part, is they work together. And why do you think that's starting to happen when it hasn't happened for centuries, right? Well, you figure it's going to be the same old. Well, because the next card is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is the Master Craftsman. Who is the Master Craftsman? You are. And we are learning and have learned how to make the energy move in better ways. Why do we do that? By being who we are authentically. That is the big secret to being spiritual, is allowing ourselves to be authentically ourselves, which means we don't worry so much what society says. We don't worry what Jane Doe talks about. We don't worry about what he has to what he thinks about us. We go, is this right for me? When it's right for you and it feels right in the heart, then you do it regardless of what society says is good for you. That's what being authentic is. Being who you are regardless. And if it's somebody who wants to live in a rented apartment in the center of a hot city because you like the ambience, but everybody says no, you're supposed to live out in the country and in a bedroom community, do what you want. Live in an apartment in the center of the city where it's sweltering hot. Maybe you like the sweltering hot. Maybe you like to watch the people of the night walk through downtown, wherever. Maybe you're writing a book and nobody knows. But do what you want to do. Don't live in a bedroom community because it's good for your kids, Well, it might be good for the kids, but is it the right thing for the kids? Okay, you have to be the decider. And then the next part of this is the Emperor comes up. And the Emperor today, the 8th, is very important. By the way, the 8th is the Lion's Gate. So it's 8. It's the 8th month and the 8th day. And that brings in the Lion's Gate. And the Lion's Gate this year is especially positive energy, I believe, where we can create and choose and make things manifest in positive ways. We're bringing that which belongs to us into the energy right now. So the Emperor, I didn't pull the Empress with him today, but the energy of the Emperor is, I feel, a little bit shaky, but he's coming in now to stand his ground and say, this is what we're going to do. He will put his foot down, say, yes, this is where we make a stand. Later on, there will be a softening and a gentling, which is good, which is very good. Don't resist too much today, because the resistance will stop you from moving forward into your new life. And we're over halfway through the year. We're well into the second half of the year, or in some cases well into the beginning of the new year. So some people start the new year on the June 21st, 22nd. So how do you choose today? Okay, the King of Cups. And he's intuitive, where you go out and you look for the answer. It's the masculine form of intuition. Today is energy is strongly masculine. It is all right, because we're trying to balance the male-female energy. If we make the male energy submissive, then we're throwing away a lot of the energy that we have at our beck and call to make us more powerful. And being afraid of your power, don't. We're not going to do this again. I said this before. We're not going to abuse it. We've done the abuse before. You've seen what abuse does. We have it all over our governments, all over anything that has been in place for eons of time. We're not going to do it. We don't like it. As a rule, spiritual people are more likely to live and let live. Allow that energy of the male to come in today, and then you get to refine it. Then you get to say, yeah, I like this. Okay, what can we do about that? Because if you don't allow yourself to have the masculine energy, and you push it away before it has a chance to manifest, you're never going to allow it in. You can't balance what you haven't got. and you want it. So the next step is what it does. With you reject it, then you make your future less positive. We want our future to be bright and shiny and golden, and so sometimes to get the future we want, we have to accept that what we're uncomfortable with. And I don't think it's a problem to accept being uncomfortable for a little while. You know, you can always take a Tylenol if you've got a headache, right? So the next card is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is the well, he's the keeper of knowledge, keeper of religion, spirituality. In my case, my card, he's the healer. He's the master healer. And it's a huge day of allowing the healing to occur. For 10,000 years, the energy has been out of balance with the masculine in ascendant and the feminine in abeyance. So when we are allowing the masculine to come in, because we are actually allowing the balance to come in. We're not going, okay, we're going to war tomorrow. When we allow the masculine in, we're allowing the masculine in so that the masculine can be healed and take its rightful place of balance with the positive, the negative, the yin, the yang, the go-getter, to the not passive, because women are not passive, but their form of energy is totally different. Oh my God, I've been talking for 12 minutes. I didn't realize that. But women are not passive. We have a different form of how do we change the world. So allow ourselves to bring in the how do we change the world and let it click together rather than fight together, right? So you watch these little girls and little boys on TV, and they're at loggerheads. Allow yourself to hook in and see the positive in each other. It is very important. It really is. All right, so namaste, namasko. I love you and you I do love. Bye.